Okay, welcome everyone to the Twitter Spaces at ReelToken Talk today. We'll be starting in about 7 minutes. We're just waiting for the Reel Group team to come in. We'll set all that up and then we'll get going. Just adding the ReelToken to speakers. I think it's connecting now. Hi ReelToken, how's it going?
All good, thank you. Thanks for having us on.
Thanks for coming. Who are we just speaking to you today, or is there anyone else we need to get as a speaker?
Just me. I'm Andrei Michal. I'm the Chief Technical Officer for the Reel Group. So any sort of technical questions or any other sort of questions, I'm here to be able to answer if people have got any queries or anything around what we're trying to do. I thought I'd leave it open to see what your community was most interested in and what sort of information they were looking for.
Okay, great, Andre. Yeah, I've looked at the white paper, so I've got some questions. We can go through everything today. Yeah, we've got also. We'll also take questions later on in the show as well from anyone on the spaces today. So yeah, if anyone wants to speak later on in the spaces, just request to speak, and yeah, we can get through some questions as well.
Look forward to it.
Okay, we'll just let everyone get into the spaces. We've got 5 minutes to go, and we'll start on the hour.
Sounds really good.
Okay, I guess we can get started if you're ready, Andre.
I am as ready as I'll ever be.
Welcome to the ReelToken Talk Twitter Spaces. Today we have joining us Andre from ReelStar project. We'll be talking about the ReelStar project and the ecosystem shortly. But first, can you give us an introduction with your background and experience, Andre?
I'm probably one of the oldest people here at the moment. I started way back before the internet even existed. Did a computer science degree, a philosophy degree, and a psychology degree because I was interested in AI, and there were no AI programs running at the time. I've worked with some of the best people at MIT and I've worked consultant around the world. Worked in the Middle East, setting up programs, UK, all in the sort of finance, business, banking space, and security, and then started to move over into the blockchain world, probably about late 2010. So been following the, should we say, all the innovations that are happening, and at the moment I'm really excited about the Web3 space and all the potential it's offering moving forward.
Okay, thank you for the introduction, Andre. So maybe we can start for the spaces, give us an introduction to the ReelStar project.
The ReelStar project is really, I think, a very exciting application of a variety of the technologies that are out there at the moment. One way of describing it is a bit like an everything app. Another way is to describe it as a Western WeChat. So that effectively what we have within the app is it's a decentralized blockchain social media app. It incorporates most of the functionality that is in the different apps like Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, and so on. And it also incorporates a digital wallet, which has both fiat and cryptocurrency features, so people can move seamlessly from fiat to crypto, crypto to crypto, or crypto to fiat. And all of those are bundled with the ability to, from wherever they are in the social media space, whether it's Instagram type things, whether it's video sharing, live streaming, whatever, they can create NFTs. They can create NFTs effectively anywhere from any type of media that they have, and they're able to monetize those projects that they do within the NFT space on our NFT marketplace.
Okay, great, Andre. And yeah, so can we go into how does a user sign up for the ReelStar mobile app? And yeah, we've discussed some of the features there, but how does it work with the token as well? Is that used on the platform for NFT minting?
Yes, the platform as it's set up is unusual in the sense that we've tried to be different in addressing some of the issues that people have on other platforms, whether there's bots or whether there's offensive content or harassment or whatever. So every app user, they can go to Google or the Apple stores, download the ReelStar app, and part of the ReelStar app is we have two levels of know your client or know your customer. The first one is that you need to identify yourself as a real person, and that's simply having a quick video of yourself holding some kind of photographic ID. And then the other KYC is the full one that's required for doing any sort of monetary transaction, whether it's crypto or fiat. And that's done automatically through the platform. So people can join. They don't need to provide any KYC to view what's on the platform. But if they wish to interact with the platform, then there needs to be a kind of KYC, depending on what sort of functionality they want to use within the app. So the main reason to do this is to get around all the sorts of issues that we saw when Elon Musk bought Twitter, there was no real clarity around how many actual real users there were on the platform and how many were bots and those sorts of things. And the other advantage that we see going down that path is to enable accountability, and we think that will result in a much more positive environment for everybody on the app. The ReelToken is a key feature of the app in that it provides the ability to use its utility value across any aspect of the app. And one of the features that's being built in is that you're able to effectively use whatever asset you've got in the wallet, which includes NFTs, our token, other people's coins, any other token, and they're all available immediately and under the user's control. So we're not a custodial wallet, it's the control of the tokens or NFTs or everything else is securely held by the user in their own wallet. So with respect to the token provides discounted services and access, but payments or for those features that require payment will be able to be made in any kind of payment system. But as I said, the advantage with the ReelToken is that you get it at a discounted rate.
Okay, yeah, great, Andre. And so you've got the regular NFTs, and then ReelStar is going to provide a bespoke NFT minting service as well.
That's correct. We've got a NFT or Real Concierge service, and this is effectively, if you like, the ability for people who want to do something really special to be able to have really customized smart contracts that are applicable and able to be used literally anywhere an NFT or a smart contract is able to be used, but to have all of the features and the additional marketing support and co-promotion and all of those things that come with that concierge level of service. So with the concierge service, it looks at the most effective types of monetization, strategies, ways and places to work with the NFTs that are minted. It's particularly useful for artists so that we can build in different types of model in the smart. For example, the original creator to receive a commission of future sales. We've got the ability for NFTs to be used in a rental or a lease type situation. So the flexibility in the smart contracts, which comes with the ReelStar Concierge service, enables a far more sophisticated approach to the use of NFTs in a more commercial sense, not just an artistic sense.
Okay, great, Andre. And what type of users are you looking to attract, like influencers, artists, creators onto the platform?
The mission statement that we have is that we're looking for this app to be applicable to everybody. So it doesn't matter whether the person is literally a newbie to the platform or to the internet world or anything like that, or whether they've got literally 1 billion followers. It doesn't really matter. What we're looking for is engagement with the community. We see in particular that a lot of people do not have access to this type of technology. There are all sorts of issues around, for example, access. The wallet in particular will allow people who don't have access or easy access to financial sources to access that. So statistically, I think about 85% of the world has smartphones that are compatible with our ReelStar app, so that anyone literally in any part of the world can engage, create communities, share interests, and be able to, should we say, obtain another source of income if they so wished, no matter whether they're in the first world, third world, developing world, or anywhere, whether they have a bachelor's degree or very little schooling. They're able to use the app and create content and be able to share that content. And we believe that with greater sharing of content, that we'll have a whole group of communities. There'll be large communities, there'll be small communities, there'll be local communities that share interests. So when we're fully launched and live, part of the opportunity is for people to, for example, in a local group that might have an interest in architecture or an interest in local bands or music of any sort, anything that you can imagine that people might have an interest in, they can establish communities, and those communities can be either local or global. So, for example, some niche types of art, music, poetry, whatever you like, people can establish those communities, and we believe that they'll be in a position to be able to monetize their content and provide it to a global audience.
I see, Andrea. And yeah, so you're going to have like communities and groups and different hobbies. And also you've got the Real Production. So that's young and new artists can seek community support and or donations for their projects. So you're trying to support young up and coming artists as well. And then they'll be able to create NFTs and fan clubs, I think, around that. And how does it work? Is there like a chat room for different sort of subjects for people to join and get involved?
Yeah, people can set up in any number of ways how they wish to interact with content creators. I think one of the difficulties moving into this space is that there's so much user-generated content, and it's really hard to say, is this an artist? Is this person a singer? And you see this sort of difficulty in trying to pigeonhole people into particular categories. And I think this is one of the big advantages of our platform, is that unlike, if you like, the mainstream media and entertainment industry, which is quite heavily siloed, and it's sort of, if you're an alt artist or an indie artist, it's quite difficult to get any recognition. The main focus is on, shall we say, the large million plus follower artists, the singers or actors or whatever. So to jump back to your question, the ability is there for people to tip in any normal way to an artist. Artists can actually set up, or creators can actually set up a small group or a community where they can seek, shall we say, patronage. The options for patronage are simple charity, for example, people are interested in it, or it can be built as a profit sharing thing. And one of the really exciting things is that in this space, for example, many of the, shall we say, larger creators and artists are restricted by their studios in what they want to create, and so on. And we've seen, many examples over the years of artists sort of having fairly, shall we say, unpleasant breakups with their studios or whatever, because they wish to pursue a particular project or something. So the project model is open to anybody from, for example, it could be a 5 or 6 year old who wants to share something and can get some people to donate or to profit share, right up to the top artist who wants to put together a exclusive music video or even a film, and the possibility is there because everything that will be done in that space is controlled by smart contracts. So there's absolute transparency in how the patronage functions, what each person gets or doesn't get out of the patronage, and the assurance that the artist puts the money where they said they were going to put it.
I see, Andre. And for new users to crypto and NFTs, do you have educational resources on the platform, like tutorials and video tutorials?
There's a whole raft of educational material. One of the key communities that we're looking to establish are educational communities, just not restricted to the sort of crypto NFT space, but to all different aspects of education. But yes, there are very clear educational videos, but part of it is that the user interface has been designed to be as seamless and straightforward and relatively easy to follow. So we're aware that, again, as part of our mission, that simply ownership of a smartphone doesn't necessarily give you any professional qualifications or anything like that. So our ideal is to make the platform as easy and as simple to use, no matter what people's skills level or sets are.
I see, Andre. And you're using multiple blockchains as well on the platform?
Correct. We've on the Polygon and BSC, or I should say Matic and BSC blockchains, our multi-blockchain platform is extensible. And one of the reasons for that is that we see that there's not only benefits that come from having a multi-blockchain, in particular things like congestion or stoppages, but also in things like arbitrage, being able to provide the lowest cost path for any of the functionalities within the ReelStar app, and being aware that in the future this space is growing significantly, and that there may be significant benefits in other blockchains moving forward, and that we'll be able to embed those into our ecosystem and allow the, shall we say, the multi-blockchain to provide as many benefits to the individuals without having to jump from one platform to another.
I see, Andre. And how much will it cost for a regular NFT for just a regular user if they want to, make an NFT of a video or music or anything?
I don't release the actual costs, but I can pretty much say that they will be exceptionally cost effective in comparison to any other minting processes and services out there.
Okay, and is there a profit margin built into the platform, and what will you use with the profits from there? Will you use it to promote the app more, or the token, or buyback and burns on the token?
The use of the shall we say profit or the margin on transactions is designed to be low. If you look at, for example, the DEX platform like Uniswap v3, that's the type of mechanics, if you like, that we'll be implementing. We've got a hybrid DAO, which is designed to maintain stability in the value of the token, and then when these commissions or fees come through, they'll be allocated according to the tokenomic model to literally benefit as many of the users as possible, whether it's in the marketing space, whether it's in the marketing of NFTs, whether it's in the promotion of various educational or, shall we say, artistic user-generated content, then that's where those funds will go. So what we're essentially trying to do is to build as quickly as possible a very positive community of people who are happy to share and enjoy the functionality that's present in the different social media functionalities in the app, while at the same time knowing that the majority of the income generated will be directed towards improvement in the platform and its reach.
Okay, great, Andre. And are you building up partnerships in the space around ReelStar and the app? Are you reaching out to different partners and asking them for their feedback?
Yes, we're about to. We're in the final stages of our internal beta testing. We're then going to move out to early token holders to participate in a limited external beta test prior to our launch in mid to late January of the full app. In terms of partnerships and those, we've had significant discussions with a large number of groups, whether they be people that are invested within the media and entertainment space, people who are looking to move into that, as well as PE and VC people. Everyone that I know that has seen the early versions and the, shall we say, the way it's been developed, the feedback has been exceptionally positive.
Okay, great. And you've also got the ReelStar Metaverse coming in the future, Omniverse. What's the plans around the ReelStar Metaverse?
The probably the best way to describe it is that we think that there is a different model that can be applied in the metaverse that is of more benefit to individuals. And so what we're looking at in the metaverse is some very innovative applications and use cases within that metaverse. The bulk of those are associated with the media and entertainment industry, but there are a number that are, shall we say, separate from the media and entertainment industry, but have very interesting use cases in order to drive further development within the Web3 metaverse, omniverse space.
I see, Andre. And you've also got the ReelToken, and that's a governance token, as we've spoke about. So how will the DAO work? Will it be based on how many tokens you hold to how much voting rights you get?
The situation is that the ReelToken has no voting rights. It's a pure utility token. The governance token has no relationship to ReelToken ownership. It is established as a true governance node, if you like to think, as a community of people. So we've already had discussions with, shall we say, people that are experts in various aspects of the system, but the governance token is really there in the case of a black swan or emergency type event that we've often seen sometimes in the market, where the speed of the smart contract or change of the smart contract is not quick enough to address very, shall we say, damaging events which have an impact on the token, its value, and its utility. So the DAO, as I said, the governance tokens simply there as a control mechanism to allow control in the case of very rare or unusual events which are outside the capabilities of a DAO or any type of AI system to address.
I see, Andre. And so you have two tokens. One's the governance token, and one is used on the platform, the ReelToken. Can we have a breakdown of the tokenomics?
Well, the tokenomics, we have a very unusual tokenomic model in the sense that we've looked at the tokenomics that have been used in just about every currency, and one of the issues that sort of impacted most of the cryptocurrencies to date is this roller coaster ride of value and so on. Our tokenomics is designed to try and maintain the utility value of the real token within a specified range, and by doing that we believe that the token will start to manifest some of the properties of a stable coin. At the same time, it will also appreciate in its utility value. So the tokenomics is related around utility and flow within the app and usage, so that what happens when people use the token and so on, it is not designed to have the sort of rapid up and down movements in price, but it's designed to have a steady increase in price without any of the dips.
Okay, I see, Andre. And what stage are we at for investors to get involved? I think you've got an IDO coming up, or is that live now?
It's live now. We've launched in 3 tranches. The second tranche started about 4 or 5 days ago, and there's opportunity for people to join in, and they can get information on the ReelStar.io website, or in fact the ReelPay.io or the ReelCrypto.io websites. The token offering is for a limited time, and there will be a final token offering, the last of the 3, in January. So at the moment the tokens are appreciating in value according to our tokenomic model, and that's what we're very happy to see in terms of its performance.
Okay, and the marketing plans, so let's say going over the next quarter, how are you going to promote the ReelStar mobile app and the ReelToken?
Well, we've already got a number of marketing initiatives in place. We've got sponsorship of sporting teams. We've got a number of influencers who've come on board, who've joined our advisory board. But our intent is really to drive organic growth through the smaller communities. And we believe that if you can understand the total value proposition of the ReelStar app and its ecosystem, it becomes something that's very easy for people to get involved with, and we believe that word of mouth will be probably one of our most valuable, shall we say, marketing plans. But we've also joined with a number of marketing groups for their assistance and their expertise in driving app downloads, usage, and so on. So there's shall we say, a plethora of different promotions. We've got sponsorships around the world, some in Dubai, some in India, some in all parts of the markets where we're starting to move into. And then, as I said, we've got options to expand the RealPay system into the merchant services or merchant facilities, so that we've got the ability for ReelStar app users to be able to, for example, pay for a coffee at their local cafe, or get entry into a club or something like that, simply through the ecosystem, and being able to seamlessly create and transfer value, whether it's in fiat or cryptocurrency, to wherever they would like it to use it.
And is there any referral system in place for, say, micro-influencers, influencers, or users on the platform?
That's something under consideration in terms of how we will see coming out of the external beta. So yes, that option may be on the table. We just need to see how it works in the beta testing stage.
Okay, I see. Let's move on to questions on the spaces. Let's see. Aisha, you had a question for Andre at ReelStar. Go ahead.
Yeah, thanks, Glenn. I have a few questions to ask. First, I was wondering, data which is uploaded by the content creators, where will it be stored? Will it be stored on any decentralized servers, or do you have your own on-site servers to assure the security of critical data and information?
We have again, a hybrid type architecture. For example, related to personal information and so on. Different jurisdictions in the world have different requirements. So, for example, in some jurisdictions, there's a requirement for the data to be stored directly on servers that are in the country. And whereas with other people there isn't. So we are compliant with all the jurisdictional regulations and laws. So if there is a requirement for storage, it's going to have to meet the jurisdictional requirements, but it is effectively going to be decentralized and fully encrypted. There's some exciting work being done in the, shall we say, back office, where we're hoping to have a very sophisticated form of encryption. Right now, the standard is end-to-end encryption, but what we're looking at is fully homomorphic encryption, which effectively means that it is at all times encrypted. So that, and it can be used while it is encrypted. So that is the key purpose of trying to have our own ecosystem, because we know that there is nothing like this planned, or even in the near future. So the other advantage of that type of encryption is that we believe that it will be what they term quantum proof encryption. So a lot of the current encryption standards, they're not really sure whether developments within the quantum computing space will render that type of encryption effectively useless. So our intent is, as I said, to have as much information as possible decentralized and encrypted, either at the highest level that we currently have, but everything will be moved into hopefully a fully homomorphic encryption by the end of 2023.
Understood. And is there any limit on amount of data content creators can upload on cloud storage? And do users have to pay more if they are uploading large amount of data?
No, there's no limit. That was one of the, shall we say, first design criteria, because we believe that people have all different types of creativity, and so that means that, you know, whether it's the creativity extends past 15 seconds or 30 seconds or 60 seconds, or it can actually go to a movie or anything like that. So that storage is built into the system.
Got it. And I also want to know, do you have any policies and guidelines set in place for content creators that they must follow when uploading contents on ReelStar platform? And will viewers be able to report any content inappropriate which is against the policies and guidelines of ReelStar?
Yes, it's a very good question. So, one of the things that I think people will understand is that anyone who is on the platform has been identified. So, there are no people who, for example, if they post inappropriate material or material that's offensive or breaches policy, one, we expect that the community, which has an invested interest in making the platform a very positive place, will report them. But obviously, we'll have all those other, shall we say, tracking and policy enforcement measures in place. But effectively, what we believe is that the community standards will be established within line with our policies, and they will, as everything does in the world, evolve and develop. And so what we'll see is that the community standards will be in line with policies that we have put into place. So long story short, people can report content that's offensive or not to community standard, and also the community standards are embedded into the policy documents with regard to uploading content.
Understood. That makes sense. Okay, I was also wondering, will ReelStar going to censor any views or opinions, or everyone is free to speak their mind on the platform?
The question of censorship is always a very difficult one. What we're trying to do is establish a community that's positive. That doesn't mean that people can't have opinions that are negative or anything like that. We just require that people, when they post material, that it is positive in intention and is not offensive or deliberately intended to be offensive. So effectively, what we believe is that you're free to have your opinions, you're free to be able to express those opinions, but you need to express them in an appropriate way, and that fits within the community standards.
Got it. Okay, last question from my side. I want to know, will ReelStar also enable Web2 or Web3 companies to create the verified official pages or accounts?
Sorry, I just part of you broke up then. Could you repeat the question, please?
Yeah, sure. I was asking, will ReelStar also enable Web2 or Web3 companies to create the verified official pages or accounts?
Yes.
Understood. Thank you. Thank you so much for answering all my questions.
My pleasure. Thank you for asking. They were very good questions.
Thank you for the questions, Aisha. Yeah, and Andre, I was wondering if it's totally being built, the ReelStar platform, in-house, or if you've got third parties building some of the platform as well.
It's a combination. We've got internal and external parties involved in the creation, and we have in fact building a larger internal team to implement some of the, shall we say, more technical aspects that I discussed in terms of encryption.
Okay, let's move to more questions. I think we've got Captain Levi. You had a question for Andre at ReelStar. Go ahead.
Yeah, thanks, Glenn. Okay, I wanted asking, I'm seeing on your white paper some examples cited, and the one that caught my attention is the one you said in February 2021, DJ 3 Lau released his first NFT music album up to the sales of 11.7 million. Now, based on what you've described, I wanted asking, how do you handle DCMA retrieve requests? For example, if someone challenges DJ Trilau now that this is NFT music album, one of these songs or this song lyrics is very similar to what I did and I did it first. What moves will you make to rectify that?
Again, with everything that's on the platform, everyone is identified. We have, if you like, standard industry implementations for going over the content and seeing whether there is any, shall we say, contravention of copyright or DMCA or any other type of restriction on that content. We don't believe that we'll have, for the reasons mentioned, a substantial amount of that. I think in many ways it will be more about education, about what's appropriate. We know that a large number of musicians will mix, will borrow. I think they said great artists steal. So we'll maintain all of the regulatory requirements with regard to content. But what I would like to say is that we're not going to be exceptionally heavy-handed in the enforcement. It will be reasoned, so it will not be necessarily automated and automatic, but it will be verified by a real person.
Oh, sounds good. Sounds good. That's. I was actually wondering. I really appreciate the answer. The next question I have is concerning your cloud administration services. Aisha actually asked earlier that is there any limits, and you made mention of the fact that there are no limits. If there are no limits, can you tell us about the compression technology that you use, and how are you able to ensure that everyone puts these files and it doesn't really affect your cloud storage service provider?
So part of the issue is that our storage model is both decentralized as well as utilizing cloud storage hosting providers. This is something I didn't want to specifically mention, but we have some very exciting developments in the compression space, which are part of our plans moving forward.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Well, while that is in place, can you tell me the solution to this? I'm posing it as a problem, and how would you deal with it? I can upload a video file, but I then rename it as a TXT file. This may cause inconsistencies as a result of fragmentation in the data. Are there any measures against this? How do you process files that are being uploaded to the service?
The processing of the files on the service is automated, and it is dependent upon the type of file that it will be stored in the most appropriate format for the type of media. When we say it's effectively unlimited, it's the fair use policy. If somebody wants to literally turn their 8K projector onto the ocean in front of their house and stream that permanently, that would not be considered an appropriate use. So, common sense methods of unlimited storage, that is, if you like, the type of thing that we're wanting to avoid, and we will avoid. But normal types of content, whether it's 8K, 10K, whatever somebody may wish to create. It could be a video, it could be a movie. This is all captured and dealt with in the back end by our automated storage systems.
Wow, it's quite impressive, I must say. Okay, my next question. I saw on your white paper that you made mention of India being the fastest growing and quickest developing cryptocurrency market in the world. India's unique political, economic, social, technological, and legal environment states that it's an ideal market example. This means that you see India as a breeding ground. Do you see India as a startup hub for target markets? And are there other zones that are crypto flexible and friendly that you're currently considering?
Yes, there are a large number of, shall we say, countries that are in a competitive space. So, for example, in terms of downloads, India is second in the world on their mobile apps. UAE is first. In other areas, for example, Vietnam is a particular leader in adoption of some of these technologies. So what we see effectively is that that there are differences in the world, but they're all moving towards the same place. So what we believe will happen, and we've seen this already in the past, is that when new technology comes, it becomes first available in wealthier countries, but then it becomes effectively commoditized. We believe that given that the platform was designed to function totally effectively on a smartphone, and that 85% of the world has a smartphone, we're not restricting access or functionality to any specific part of the world. But from a practical perspective, it makes sense for us to move into markets as quickly as possible that have the infrastructure to support the sort of vision that we have for the Real Group ecosystem.
I must say, I really love the contents of the white paper. I love the wonderful utilities you guys have in place. I wish you guys the best, and I hope you guys can check every item you have in the roadmap. I wish you guys the very best, and I hope that the ReelToken project stays bullish onward. Over to you, Glenn.
Thank you.
Thank you for the questions, Captain Levi. Next up, we have Ramat. We had a question for Andre at ReelStar. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Glenn. Okay, so it's mentioned on your white paper that you will be providing in-app media creation and the editing tools. So I was wondering, will these creation and editing tools are basic tools, or they are advanced tools for professional video editors to edit their content for uploading on the ReelStar platform?
Best way to describe it is that they're a little past a basic, but they're not up to the level of professional, and that is simply as a result of limitations on the hardware platform. So with respect to professional designers, our NFT minting and marketplace does not restrict what people do. So, for example, if you require, multi 8K video editing and so on, you can do that outside of the platform, but still bring the final content into the platform. We've got a number of AI tools which can be used by people so that they don't need to have all the professional video editing and creation tools and knowledge of that. So, as I said, it's a little bit more than basic, but we have tools that will provide quite different types of effects and editing options, but appreciate that those will be part of what's considered development and ongoing evolution. As you know, speed of everything tends to increase, and as that does, we make greater and greater demands on what the technology can do. So our intention is to, let's be clear, if not at the front, very close in terms of the facilities that are available for people to edit.
Yeah, it makes sense. Okay, so I was also wondering what incentives are you offering to the viewers or the fans on the ReelStar application? Will users be earning rewards or points by liking, viewing, sharing, and engaging with the content creators as well?
There are plans for that. It is a matter of, shall we say, finalising the design specs. And as I mentioned previously, we want to see how that will function on the limited beta test. There are, shall we say, loyalty points for viewers, which will be expressed in ReelToken. But as I said, what we'd really like to see is we'd really like to encourage users to generate their own content and monetize that.
Okay, got it. Okay, another question. So you will be also offering virtual debit cards through your RealPay digital wallet. So I was just curious that will this RealPay system will be integrated into the social media app, and will users also be able to store both fiat and crypto on their virtual debit cards for spending?
It's a bit of a complicated question. The debit card is a standard fiat currency debit card. But the way the Real Pay wallet works is that there is the ability to seamlessly move crypto to fiat, and that way you can use crypto assets that you have to convert to fiat in order to go into the debit card. If you're, for example, traveling internationally and you want to purchase a coffee when you haven't got, shall we say, the fiat currency of the country that you've travelled to in your wallet.
Okay, understood. Thank you so much for answering, and thank you for clearing it up. Over to you, Glenn.
Thank you very much for the questions. Let's move next. We've got Venice. You had a question for Andre at ReelStar. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you so much, Glenn. I have a couple of the questions to ask. Okay, I think this platform, ReelStar, can also be used by companies to advertise their products, because there will be a lot of different audience from different regions, and you guys will be doing KYC for some users. So will you be using the users data that can allow advertisers to choose which location or which user group to target?
The intention is not to have advertising on the platform.
Okay, that makes sense. And also, as ReelToken offers some great features to artists and creators, if we observe a real world, normally artists have their managers that can make their profiles look great by adding specific tags and edits. So, do you plan to also have any? Is there any plan to allow people to be listed as managers and offer their services to artists through a D app or some kind of platform where managers are listed? And yeah, can choose them. Okay.
Yes. The platform has part of the, if you like, the design aspect is that people are able to find information as quickly as possible. And so that, sorry? And that would mean that they would be able to promote their services on the platform. So this is part of the platform design. And in fact, we are already in the process of negotiating with some managers in Bollywood.
Yeah, and I think sometimes there are people who are not creative enough to make contents or reels that people can like or follow. So, is it possible for users to post other artists' content on their profile as well, or promote those content on from their profiles, and some royalties are given to the real owner of that content?
As I said, the primary purpose is not for people to promote simply on a royalty basis. We're looking for people to generate their own content or get involved in a number of other ways that they can earn income on the platform. But essentially, what we're trying to do is not replicate a lot of the problems that are already present in many of the social media platforms.
Okay, understood. And did you have any plan to also reach out to music or film industries, as you guys are focusing on Indian market, and India has a lot of very good music and film industries, and a lot of great artists are there. So will you guys be reaching out to those industries that can get the artists or creators of real star and get them a chance to work with them as well?
Absolutely. There is no restriction. We actually already have had negotiations with artists at all levels in India as well as internationally. And as I said, those artists, creators can be in the movie space, they can be in the music space, they can be in the dance space, they can be in effectively any space. And the reality is that at the moment, the founders who are Indian are in India at the moment. And I believe they're directly involved in conversations across the entire media and entertainment industry in India as we speak.
Okay, that's really great. And will let's talk about real pay. So with real pay, can people also top up with their SIM balance or pay utility bills or do any kind of regular things that they normally do with other banking apps? So will you guys allow them to do all these things with real pay as well?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much for answering my all questions. That's all from my side.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for the questions, Venice. Yeah, so Andre, maybe we can do a recap for anyone that's joined the spaces later on. We do get a lot of listeners coming in around the 30-minute mark. So yeah, if we could maybe go over the ReelStar project for anyone that missed the details.
Yes. So just to recap, ReelStar is a super app, everything app, a Western version of WeChat. It is an app that provides all aspects of social media functionality, whether it's of the type of Facebook or Instagram or YouTube or Twitter. It has integrated into the app, and this is all within the app. So just to clarify, all of the facilities and functionalities are within the app itself. So there is the RealPay digital wallet, which has a fiat debit card associated with it. The system allows for normal usage like booking flights, hotels, cinema seats, that sort of thing, and pay for them. It also has full NFT minting and a marketplace within the app. And it also provides the ability for people to create communities, to reward or seek patronage for their artistic or creative endeavours. And those creative endeavours can be done with the assurance that smart contracts are in place to ensure that the actual details are maintained as were offered in the first place. And on top of that, there is the ReelStar concierge service, which allows a very much more tailored approach to anyone, but we would imagine that it would be either artists who have already achieved significant success or those who are wishing to achieve significant success to take advantage of the ReelStar and the Reel Group's, should we say, knowledge and experience in all the different areas related to the promotion and good functioning of the media entertainment industry. We have an enormous amount of respect for everyone in the industry, and we understand a lot of the problems that people do encounter in that industry, and we're really excited to be able to provide a solution for those and to have more people join the media and entertainment industry. And we're really excited to see what sort of content is created by our users. So that is probably in a nutshell what people may have missed if they weren't here at the beginning.
Thank you very much, Andre. It's been great speaking to you about the Reel Group ecosystem today on the Spaces. If anyone's got a question after the Spaces today, if you've got the ReelToken logo there from Andre, there'll be links to the socials. Does the community mainly hang out on Telegram or Discord, Andre?
Yes, we have Telegram, Discord groups. We also have Twitter, obviously. So they're the ones we're focusing on at the moment. There may be some others that will join a little bit further down the track. But as I said, we're open also by email. If people wish to send questions, links are on the websites.
Okay, well, thank you very much for joining us today. I'm looking forward to the future for the app as it progresses into the new year. And take care. Thank you very much for coming today, Andre.
Thank you very much. And I have to say, you've got a very intelligent audience. So that speaks well for the interest in the ReelStar ecosystem. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you. Yeah, we always have organic people joining the Spaces on our Twitter. And it's great questions today. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you.